Is it time?
Let's do it, man.
All
All
right.
right.
So you want to go first?
Yeah, I'm gonna
We're
go.
discuss. This is the top 5 hip hop groups of all time. The definitive list. If anyone comes to you and says the top five, it's coming from these two guys. Don't bother checking out any other list. Just
Nope,
delete
nobody else
everything.
knows what they're talking about. It's just me and him right now. Okay, so
Exactly.
you know
And
what I think
remember,
we should do?
yeah, go ahead.
I think I'm gonna give my two honorable mentions, and if you got any, you go, and I'll go from five. I'll say my five, you say your five, and we'll just kind of go like that. What do you think? That
Sure.
versus me just saying, "Oh, we'll just kind of go back and forth, and then we'll
Okay.
see what our list look like." So, um, man, look, let's. Okay, I'm gonna give you. I got two honorable mentions. I was gonna just do one, but I got two. I could have five, but it is what it is. So, um, I have. Let me see. Hold up. Make sure I didn't because I had to write down. Okay, so I think I had three. Hold on, one, two, three. Yeah, I got three
I
honorable
threw
mentions. It is
four
what.
in there, but
Okay,
it
okay.
didn't make any sense.
So
But
I got Mob Deep is in my honorable mention group.
wow,
Um,
look at that, me and you.
yeah, I love Mob Deep.
Yeah, same
Back,
thing. I
I'm
know,
thinking
yeah.
back when I was junior, senior in high school. I remember, I think it was junior, no, senior year. Driving, I had my car, my first car at that time. I remember bumping Mob Deep like that whole fall, man.
Yeah.
Um, Big Mob Deep fan, Havoc, Prodigy. I like the griminess of their music. I like the street level of it. I
It
just,
holds up.
it holds up. I can listen to it now. Big Mob Deep fan, and if anything, I feel like there's two or three albums that I know they have a few more than that, but like there's just a couple for me. Murder Music, man. I like. I'm a big
Yeah,
Mob Deep fan.
Havoc was a fantastic producer. He
Yeah,
just knew exactly what kind of sound Prodigy was able to get on, and it's definitely
yeah,
an honorable mention. Yeah, I have the same
yeah.
one on mine as well.
So the other, I got the Locks. Uh,
I didn't put them in, but yeah, of course. I
I got the
mean, yeah,
Locks as an honorable mention in
yeah.
my
I think the
this Bad
Jiggy
Boy
stuff
Camp.
kind of threw them back.
Yeah,
You think I'm Jiggy, and it's
yeah.
like, damn, dog. Did he kind of?
But
But then
Jadakiss, man, and
they
Styles
knew
P.
they
I
knew
mean,
we got to get rid of this goofball because he's going to destroy our career. And they
yeah,
bounced and went to Rough Riders, and I was like, oh, okay, now this makes sense. When they were
crazy.
just trying to get on, like if P Diddy comes to you and says, "Let's we're going to do a rap career, you got to put this shiny suit on and start dancing with me." I'm gonna get you're gonna get a 7-figure deal.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm gonna put the suit on and dance. Like what am I gonna
yeah,
do? This is the only way I'm gonna get on, right? Like
yeah,
you
yeah. I
know,
mean, it is what it is. I think they were actually Puffy changed the name. They were called something else originally. It wasn't the Locks. It was something else. Like
yeah.
it's an acronym. I can't remember what it is. Maybe some of you guys can tell me in the chat. But I have them in my honorable mention. Big fans of them. And the one that I have in my honorable mention that I almost put in to my top five, but I switched it at the end. The Roots. Huge Black Thought
Yeah,
fan.
yeah,
I
yeah,
love
yeah, yeah.
musically how each person in that group does certain things. Right? They're like they're like a rock group in a way where each guy's playing their part, and then Black Thought's obviously lyrically he's the one on the mic
Wordsmith,
most of the
man.
time.
He's a
Wordsmith,
word like
beautiful. I mean, his voice just it's so
yeah,
iconic,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Um, I think they're out of Philadelphia,
yeah, yeah,
repping that area really well. And Questlove obviously is just kind of like the genius behind all that.
yeah. Cool
Um, Cool
personality.
personality. So the Roots, I almost had them at five, but I got them in my honorable mention. Those are my honorable mentions. What do you got?
Okay, so yeah, Mob Deep we already got that one together. Now, because we both agree that duos is a group, so I put Eric. Well, this may not be because Eric B didn't rap, but I did put Eric B and Rakim in there. Now it may be a little bit off because again it was more producer rapper, but I feel like they were a group because they made music. They made music together, and I didn't know this until I looked this up. They were the first rap act to sign $1 million deal.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Like, and if go watch their videos. I don't care. They maybe look kind of corny. They look awesome to me. I feel like the gold chain era was way more interesting than the
Yeah.
platinum shiny silver
Yeah.
crap.
The early 2000 stuff that was,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, I
big,
believe.
the Big Daddy Kane chains, the slick Rick. That looked to
LL.
me looked way more like a at least cool aesthetic than the crap that
It's
happened.
like more class. It's like it just as weird as it might sound to me, it's a little more classy
It's
than to
gold.
have the bling bling stuff,
Yeah,
right? And the big earrings and all that. Yeah.
yeah, trash. But another honorable mention: Bone Thugs and Harmony.
Oh, interesting.
Now, see,
Interesting.
all right, they're out of Cleveland, all right? They're in the Midwest.
Cleveland is a
Represent,
city
represent.
where, yeah, Cleveland, man.
Um,
Yeah.
they had a really long run. They could
Yeah.
work with anybody. Listen,
They
the
were on top for
best.
a while. Yeah.
Go listen to and also they worked with Notorious B.I.G. One of the best songs, Notorious
Bone
Thugs.
and
Listen to
Biggie,
that
man.
right now.
That's such a
That still
banger.
gets bumped.
That is such a
Then
banger.
Thug Love with Tupac,
Yeah.
another great song. Like those two rappers like put their foot into that one, and both they hold their own. Crazy Bone, Lazy Bone.
Absolutely.
It's a lot
They
of
were on top
bones.
for a few years, man. They had a
Yeah,
lot of hits, man. Yeah.
yeah. They work with everybody, and they still make music, and it's the same
Yeah.
cool sound. They rapping fast, but they're not like mumbling like everybody else. So
Mhm.
big fan of Bone Thugs and Harmony. For the
Yeah.
very
Facts.
first time I saw Crossroads and trying to keep up with what the fuck they were trying to say, like what? But it sounded good. Okay, so and my last honorable mention, I threw this in there. Run the Jewels. I don't know if you
Mm.
guys know what Run the Jewels,
And
but
Mike, yeah, I know Mike.
I love Killer
Yeah.
Mike. I'm a big fan of Killer Mike. The white dude, LP, his name is. They make some good music.
Yeah, they do.
Real high energy. You want to work out. I don't know who's doing the producing, but Killer Mike can still hold his own. I know he's
Yeah.
more political now, and he's a Bernie
Yeah.
Sanders fan. Whatever. So he does more of that political stuff. But that's a really good group. Really good albums. I saw them perform once live. High energy. I think if you guys don't know about Run the Jewels, check
Check
out
them out.
check them
Yeah.
out. So that's my honorable mention. So if you want to jump in,
Good,
are we
good
good
honorable
back?
mentions, man. Yeah.
We're gonna do the back and forth
Yeah, yeah. So
5.
I'm gonna give my 5. You go 5. I'll go.
Gotcha.
So at 5, this is a personal list. My
Go
man
ahead.
Hannibal just named him. Bone Thugs and Harmony is my 5. Okay.
So
Now,
right.
Bone Thugs for me, I'm back in. This is middle school. They're from Cleveland. I spent a lot of my summers in Chicago with my cousins. And they were all about that life. And I just, I'm just a kid. I'm 10, 11, 12. Trying to keep up with them. Bone Thugs was big in Chicago. Okay, and I'd spend each summer like 5, 6 years in a row in Chicago, right? And listening to their music, it's looking back now, it's so unique for the time that they were doing it. Nobody else was out mainstream like them. They kind of paved the way for this singing and all the stuff you see some
Yeah, definitely.
now and even after. And they're talking about Ouija boards and all this crazy stuff, right? But they had the Easy influence, obviously, then the Crossroads song, which was basically one of the biggest songs of that era,
Ever,
right?
probably.
Ever.
Yes,
I
yeah.
mean, it was played on the box, and you heard on the radio, and it was
Yeah.
everybody's bumping that song for
I still remember
literally
the
the
music
whole year.
video. I still
Yeah,
remember the music video.
fantastic music video.
Yeah.
So, big, big, big Bone Thugs fan as a kid growing up, and so that's why I have them at my 5.
All right. So my 5 is the Tribe Called Quest. I love that. Q-Tip is one of my favorite rappers. Rest in peace to Five Dog. They kind of started where kind of similar to a lot of the other groups. I'm trying to think of another group right now where it wasn't all about banging, gang banging, being the toughest guy, being the most aggressive guy. Like they were talking about getting girls. They had all types of different kinds of themes, and they were able to hold their own at rapping. I remember their performances, and I remember the way I knew Busta Rhymes is from listening to some of the stuff they had with the Tribe Called Quest. So big fan. Midnight Marauder is probably my favorite album.
Yeah.
Low End Theory as well.
Mm-hmm.
Scenario. I mean, you could put on Scenario right now. Everyone's gonna know what that song's about.
Yep.
And it's unfortunate Five Dog passed away, but Q-Tip is still doing his thing. You put him in, he can still out rap most of these rappers. So like my list is it doesn't matter who's in the group. And I'm sure your list too. They're gonna out rap the current crap that we're listening to right now, right? Like, but it's not even right now. If they
There's
want
some
rap.
current guys that but no, you're right. Yeah. I don't have anybody brand new on my list.
Right? There's some other groups that's successful, but yeah, Tribe Called Quest. I think a lot of people copied a little bit because at one point it got to a point where a lot of rap, even in the early '90s, that gangster rap was like the thing. It was all about gangster rap. It's all about being the most aggressive. But Tribe Called Quest, like De La Soul, and they're not marvelous. I should have put them on honorable mentions. had a little bit a different take on things.
Yeah.
More relatable.
Yeah.
But KB Midnight Marauders is a fantastic album.
So you guys know what in the chat? Do you know what marauders mean? I mean, I'm sure you guys know
Yeah.
marauders.
Hopefully they know.
What are they marauding for? Yeah, you guys talk about that. Me and Hannibal know, but you got them at 5. I mean, yeah. Okay. I mean that I can't. I'll just say this. I can't disagree with that at all, and you'll see why in a little while. So,
Okay.
So my 4, I have a good segue into gangster rap. This is some historical relevance, but also the star power within this group. NWA, I have it 4. The music they were making at that time, you know, the message. Ice Cube then wasn't even the biggest guy in the group, but he was obviously the most talented. Some would say
He was a brain.
he was a brain. I
You
mean,
say maybe Dre, but I think Ice Cube was writing on more than
but you know, Easy was like the draw, right? You know, Easy was the draw, and it was short lived, you know, because of what happened with him. But just to think about what those guys came from and what they did within the music industry, and then what Cube and Dre have done after as businessmen, as producers, as lyricists, as rappers. I mean, NWA, I can't have a top 5 without having them in there. I think that what they've done for the West Coast, it kind of started with them, in my opinion. So they're my number 4.
I mean, you know, everyone kind of like, damn, they look kind of cool doing this. But yeah, I mean, good thing you put them in there because I did not have them in my top 4. But can't argue. I mean, Ice Cube was one of the, I think, underrated in terms of his lyrical ability.
Yeah.
Some people don't really put him in there, but the guy can write his ass off. And he, like I said, he had this long career of doing so many other things. You can't just do that if you weren't able to put pen and paper together and write some fantastic rhymes. So can't complain about that. So this one is going to come, I don't know if you guys may even, I don't know. But I'm put this in here just to show you guys that I'm not just addicted to anyone that is in the East Coast. So the 4 for me, and maybe it's a more personal one, UGK.
Oh, damn. I did not see that coming. Now I'm excited. Okay.
Listen, I tell you, Pimp C, Bum B, especially Bum B.
Yeah.
Go listen to Murder. There's a track called Murder. Write that down. Go listen to it. Both of them destroy it. It's amazing. It's just go listen to it. You know, they're Houston legends. You know, Pimp C passed away, but Bun B out rapped Jay-Z and Big Pimpin'. I will always argue about that. Bun B was just not like it wasn't a competition. The best track was Bun B. You know, obviously Pimp C jumped in. Even a lot of collabs that they have, like International Players Anthem with Outkast, you can't beat that. So I think Bun B, he was like the heavyweight of the lyrical stuff, but Pimp C was so stylish. I mean, he may have been a real pimp. He probably was. Maybe. I'm assuming. And he didn't give an F too. Like he didn't even want to be on that Big Pimpin' song. He did not think anyone was more important than he was. You know what I mean? Like they had that level of confidence. Listen, Houston produced a lot of great rappers.
Yeah,
I mean,
Ghetto Boy, Scarface, right?
Yeah,
they're from Houston. Yeah.
And I think Bun B, especially Murder. I mean, there's a video on YouTube of T.I. explaining the entire verse that Bun B had.
I remember you sent me that about a year ago. And you were like, check this out. Have you heard of it? And I kind of remembered it, but not in the way that you had.
Yeah.
And then I saw that video or listened to it. I was like, damn, that's
crazy. Like T.I. is like, this is what I was listening to when I was 16 years old, and I wanted to be a rapper. Like that's the kind of
influence
that Bun B had. And I'm sure we haven't checked. I'm sure he's got some music out somewhere, killing it. Bobby, this is funny. Bobby said, UGK, damn, Hannibal took off his backpack and put on the holster.
Nice. I didn't expect UGK out of you.
I love it. Yeah.
I didn't think about that.
Ghetto Boys is ahead of you. I wouldn't even argue with that. I think Riding Dirty is probably one of my favorite albums. I listen to it as often as I can, and I think it's just more of a personal thing with Bun B. And Bun B is like one of those guys he could be featured, and he'll outshine a lot of the rappers.
Yeah.
So, that's my 4.
Like it. I like that a lot. Actually, I like
Yeah.
that a lot. Now, this one's mainstream. So this is. I think this group would be on a lot of people's one. I think a lot of people might have this group as number
The
one. I
Fat
think that,
Boys.
nope. I think they're my number one. No, I think a lot. I think a lot of like even normal people, like people just like not big hip hop fans, but like just casuals would probably have them number one. Wu-Tang. I have them at 3. Um,
What?
yeah, I got Wu-Tang at 3. Yep.
I don't know about this list, Pedro.
Yep.
You're winning it.
Yeah, I got Wu-Tang at 3.
All
You'll
right.
see why in a little while, I think. But for me, I know the significance of Wu-Tang and Cream and all these songs they got, and lyrically, like they're talking about planets and universes and stars and science, and like I appreciate it,
Not
right?
all of them are doing that.
Not all of them. RZA just, I get it,
Yeah,
right?
he's
But just the significance of them and Ghostface and Raekwon the Chef and Method
yeah.
Man and ODB, like it's crazy to put these many talented guys on one group, right?
It's cheating.
It's cheating.
Yeah.
They are a super team. They are LeBron, D Wade, and Chris Bosh,
Yeah.
right? So I got them at 3. The only reason they're at 3 and not at 1 or 2 is because I haven't listened to as much Wu-Tang as I have some of the 2 groups that I have above them, right?
Okay.
So I can't go bar for bar and memorize all the words on all the songs, and I haven't gone down that rabbit hole of the Wu, but I appreciate them. So for me, I have them on my list out of appreciation and respect, and a couple songs that to me that are classic, like you hear it and you never turn it off, So Wu-Tang's 3 for me. I think a lot of people have them at 1, but I do have them at 3.
Would you get a tattoo with the Cream acronym tattoo on your chest, like Matthew Green's friend has?
Absolutely not.
Cash don't rule everything around you?
Dollar bill. It doesn't. I would more be at. I would more.
No, but 20 years later, maybe though.
Yeah.
Right? I
Yeah,
mean, young bucks like money. I think that's probably not. Nah, you hustling. Fuck it. That's all. That is always running around you. Like, I love that song. But yeah, 3 is. I'll take it. I'll take it. It's so many groups, and
it's just so many, man.
This one I'm gonna put out. You guys may not feel this one, but I feel it. The 3rd for me is the Fugees.
Oh, interesting.
Now, probably because of Lauryn Hill.
Dude, she's so fine. She's fine.
She's a fine and lyric.
And
she could put up lyric but if you guys, and it may be just that one album, their first album, Fugees, that was a great album.
The score,
great
man.
Collab together. Wyclef, before he was weird, Pras able to hold his own, and then Lauryn Hill was able to sing. It just blended everything together.
It's a great album.
And like I think we should do a list of top 5 female MCs. I think I may have her. She may be up there, 1 or 2, maybe.
Hold on, you mean just females?
Just females.
Oh, is she not 1 or 2? I think
that's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So like she, and then like Wyclef could put music together, and Pras is just able to jump in. But Bobby's like, what album though? Yeah, but it again personal, right? It was personal, but that was a great group. And
Wyclef is underrated. Do you not think? I mean, I think in some regards we forget about historically what he did and putting that group together. And he did the album The Carnival, and he went a different route. But Wyclef could produce, man. Super talented. And recently he got into the reggaeton kind of, not reggaeton, but he was doing different types of music in the last 6 years. He dropped the album, I think, about 6 years ago or so. That was very different.
I mean, I still walk around saying I'm going to November. Like I still like that's a catchy ass song. But yeah, that's probably my one squeaker of all of them. But you put the score on and tell me if people don't like. No, and that's over a lot of stuff. I mean, it's a classic, one of the greatest.
I did not see Fugees either. I didn't have them in my wheelhouse. But I can't. Some would say I got Bone Thugs in my top 5. They only got one big record. 1.5 good albums. I thought the first 2 albums are good enough for me.
Yeah, I would say Fugees is my Terrell Davis pick. Okay, he wasn't there for a long time, but he was there long enough to get an Hall of Fame. Right? He was just there. He had a 2,000 yard, and then he broke every part of his body. That's my pick. It looks like a few are not feeling it, but I understand.
No.
And now, what's your second pick?
So second, really, I think most of y'all should. There's only two groups left, in my opinion, that should even be.
Yeah, I think you got one. You probably have one of mine in yours. But go
I
ahead.
think we both have the same number one. I could be wrong. My second is Tribe Called Quest. So I think that was Hannibal's five.
Oh yes,
I'm
yes,
a
yes.
big Tribe Fest fan. Starting in the high school, listening to Marauders and Bonita Applebum. You got it going on. Like that music was different because it was, I liked at that point I was listening to Nas and stuff like that. But like, and then NWA and like listening to other things. But like, it was different. It was a different vibe, right? And I appreciated that it wasn't like gangster stuff necessarily at all, right? It was about partying and the neighborhood and thinking about things things that other guys weren't rapping about. And Q-Tip had this very unique flow, and it kind of catches and engages you, right? And Fife Dog was extremely opposite of him as far as some of the things he'd say in his flow.
Is he more
So
aggressive, right? Like he a little bit more
exactly,
aggressive with the women, and it was funny
yeah,
because he was, the 5 foot freak, so like he wasn't
yeah,
even like taller, but he's like, I don't care, I'm a,
yeah.
so a big fan of
And they
what they
had,
put
they
together.
had swag. They're on the East Coast. They had fashion, like Q-Tip. He was just different. And that Marauders album's a big fan of that. There's no skips on that album. It's a
Mhm.
great album to ride in the neighborhood with and just chill out. So I got them as my two, and I think that's I had to flip between them and Wu-Tang for two or three, and I gave a nod to the Tribe because I feel like overall their catalog's a little bit better, and they did it with less talent. So for me, because Wu-Tang's just got so many dudes, right? And the Tribe Called Quest is number two for me.
Okay, you know what? I'm going to do Is this cheating if I do a audible?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, because you don't know. I
Because
mean, that's what I'm
I
saying
don't
out
know,
loud.
but yeah, you could totally audible whatever.
All right, so number two is Wu Tang. It is
Okay,
cheating. There's too many of
okay.
them, and they can out rap like 90% of what's happening
So
right
you
now.
had them at number one.
Yeah, I
You
guess you'll figure
did.
out what's my number one,
Ah, okay.
but I still love them. I mean, and yeah, they have different albums kind of together. So like, like Ghostface we had Waycon together in the album, and Iron Man. Like, there's a lot of different albums, and it's like a Game of Thrones with all types of different types of albums. Who's doing this? But when they came together,
Yeah.
it's some classic stuff. ODB, I love ODB. He was crazy as hell.
Mm-hmm.
Shimmy Shimmy Brooklyn Zoo could play that on
Shimmy,
right
shimmy,
now.
y'all. Shimmy, yeah.
Uh,
Shimmy, yeah. Give
Triumph,
me the mic so I can take it away.
yeah, he says like three times in a row, and it doesn't matter. It's still fresh. Triumph. Listen to Triumph right
Triumph.
now.
Oh man, if that doesn't make you want to run through a brick wall, I don't know what hip
Uh,
hop song
I
does.
mean,
Yeah,
Expect a Deck coming with that. Like, what are you guys talking? Yeah, they do, and I think
crazy.
you do knock a few points on what the hell is RZA or Expect a Deck. Just what you guys are talking about, because clearly you guys are all too smart for us.
Yeah,
That's why we like the dumb shit. Like, yo, Method Man. Like, like, come on, wait, Ghostface Killer. He may just slap you. Like they have that level of aggressiveness, but intelligence, and
yeah,
me loving movies, action movies,
yeah.
the karate movies. That's a one thing in the hood. I'm sure you've seen this. Like, you go in a barber shop. Well, when you used to go to the barber shop, it's been a while. You go in there, they always playing some kind of kung fu movie. How we just it kind of embeds in the black culture to how much we love that kind of stuff.
Mm.
The anime too. So like they put that in there. I mean, 36 Chambers kind of putting that element together. I tell you, there is a cheating. It's a super group.
It
They
is.
they
It is.
came, but they came out the gate being a super group. So that's why I have them at two. I mean, I think most people would tell you Wu Tang is my favorite rap group, and you
Mm.
can't even fight them. Like, go ahead.
I said it earlier, and we have the same number one. So this is not planned. I think we
Yeah,
do.
yeah,
I
we've heard
think
of
we
that, yeah.
do. I think we just need to say it on the count of three.
Why would we
One,
both say this?
two,
Fat Boys,
three.
Outcast,
Outcast.
yeah,
Outcast is number one. For me, I knew that going into my list that they were going to be my number
I
one.
was fighting it because Outcast is. I think we kind of said it in the last episode. I was thinking it could be Wu Tang, but the more we're talking about it, and more in my head, um, Andre 3000, as we talked about before, is an alien,
Yeah.
and he is so good that some people don't think that like they think it's just him, but it's not. I mean, it's they blend together in such an interesting way that I mean, at one point, I don't know what Andre was doing, what he was wearing. I mean, at one point he was wearing a diaper. I think he was
Yeah.
messing with Eric, my dude. I'll go crazy too.
Yeah.
But it all started. My father brought ATL Aliens into the house, the CD,
Love that album.
and I played at it. He played, pumped it up, and I just fell in love. I mean,
Dude,
what else would I say?
the beats, the music in that,
Yeah,
elevators. I mean, that album to me was like, oh, because I listened to that before I listened to Southern Playalistic, whatever, right?
yeah,
That one, which was their first one, and I just fell in love with that group. I was like, this is way different. They got this South flavor, but they're still lyrics. I need my lyrics in hip hop, right?
yeah,
And Andre gave me some of
yeah.
that
And
lyrical stuff.
Big Boy can rap.
Big Boy can
It's just the
rap.
problem is that Andre 3000 was so out of this world, and he is such a interesting person that he don't even put in much music out anymore. And I know we already have some people who are a little bit upset. Outkast
Mhm.
will, especially in East Coast, they're gonna like, how dare you? I'll tell you right now. But
We
yeah,
getting some hate. Hey,
I'll tell you right now.
listen.
Andre 3000. Ask any of those Wu members what do you think about Andre 3000's ability to rap. Come on. It's not
Mhm.
even. It's not even. It's not even a question. Andre 3000 is one of the greatest lyricists ever. He can rap. He could out rap. I'm not gonna say out rap anyone who, but he could if he wanted to. That's
Yeah,
how
and
great he
I
was.
think what I like about Outkast also is they kind of leave us wanting some more.
Yeah,
Andre hasn't, you know what I'm saying? He's dropped in here and there, and he's made some features and other people's stuff, but like they, and Wu did the same thing. I think, but they broke off, and but Outkast left us wanting a little bit more, and I think there's something to be said for that,
yeah.
right? And if they dropped an album tomorrow, or
It
let's
would.
just say
I
it
would
would
stop
be, I
everything I'm
think
doing. If I had
me.
a job, I would call out if I had one. But I don't. But I guess I would. I'm not doing anything. Um, and it's yeah, and that's a cool thing about Outkast. There's some people who like Big Boy because Big Boy is more, and he good. I mean, that album we call the one that kind of put together Speaker Box and Love Below.
Yeah,
A lot of people did not like the Love Below.
I like that album.
I loved it a lot, but
Yeah.
yeah, he was doing something different, he was being creative. But yeah, Outkast again. That's personal list.
I think a
They
lot of
work together.
people are surprised Outcast is in even maybe the top 5, but to me, it's kind of a, like I said, like Hannibal saying, these are the groups that I enjoy, right? And I think we all look at music personally, like what time were these artists or groups out? Does it What kind of a significance does it hold for you in your time in your life when you're listening to this stuff, right? What are they rapping about? Like, so because if you talk to somebody that's 25 years old, their list is not even going to have probably any of these
I don't even
groups
know
in
what
here.
their
The
list
most
would
20
be. Well,
exactly. Their list
let's.
would be who know? I don't even know. I mean,
What
I
rap
couldn't.
groups are out right now other than Migos? And
But
rest in peace to Takeoff.
Migos would
But
be in most 25-year-olds group. I'm sure it would. Migos would be there. It'd be Cash Money, or not Cash Money, but it'd be Drake and one album he did with somebody. They would think Future and Drake are a group now or something like that. It'd be that kind of stuff, right?
yeah,
So Outkast, yeah, that's my number one group.
I'm trying to look up hip hop groups. Any you guys know what any hip hop groups are happening right now? Like what? Who's? I'm looking. I don't know any. I'm thinking like right now, like it's current.
Yeah, it's nobody that I can. There's a lot of solos, but
Oh,
Migos was the one that was,
that was Ghost Cab with a really good
Goody
mention.
Mob.
Goody Mob.
I was, yeah,
CeeLo.
CeeLo. He's an alien too. He's
Yeah,
different.
he
He's
just said
different.
that he said that weird stuff that he shouldn't have said. But that's his fault. Kind of some of the White Club. We talking about White Club did that weird thing with the I think it was charity that he more financed. He did not pay them back. He did something weird. People didn't give him a lot of that.
We just dropped the reference on y'all. I don't know what we're
Yeah,
talking
yeah. I'm sorry.
about.
You don't have those obscure
So let me
references.
ask y'all something real quick. Hannibal's looking up some current. If each of you guys and gals in the group, give us your number one. You can give us your. But what is your number one group? What group do you like? Just type in that group in the chat right now. I want to see what you guys got. I know you guys have been putting in a lot of groups here and there. Give us your number one,
Yeah.
and let's see what you guys got for your number
But
one.
also, we listen to all of this. I know I would get, I know it was a little upset about not, Wu not being number one for any of our lists, but I listen to all that stuff. So it's just a list. Don't kill us.
They'll be fine.